TV soap news and spoilers say that in the shadowed corners of a city where loyalty is a currency and betrayal a death sentence, a sinister web of deception unravels, leaving devastation in its wake. The television series Beyond the Gates has gripped audiences with its labyrinthine plot, where every twist reveals a darker truth. At the heart of this narrative storm lies a question that has haunted fans. Did Vanessa finally uncover the chilling truth about her husband Doug's death? Was it the work of Marcel, the corrupt detective entangled in a web of lies, or does the blame rest with the shadowy forces pulling the strings behind Beyond the Gates? Let's dive into the murky depths of this tale, exploring the motives, machinations, and heartbreak that define this tragic saga. A city of secrets. The city in Beyond the Gates is a character in itself, a sprawling, neon-lit metropolis where power is seized through cunning and violence. Its streets pulse with secrets, whispered in dimly lit bars and sealed with blood in back alleys. At the center of this world is Doug, a man whose life was snuffed out in a meticulously orchestrated car accident. To the world, Doug's death was a tragic mishap, a cruel twist of fate on a rain-slicked road. But as the layers of deception peel away, a far more sinister truth emerges. Doug, a charismatic businessman with a knack for navigating the city's underbelly, was no stranger to danger. His connections to Joey, a ruthless kingpin with a velvet tongue and a heart of ice, placed him in a precarious position. Joey, the puppet master of the city's criminal empire, operated with surgical precision, ensuring his tracks were always covered. His enforcer, Marcel, a detective whose badge was little more than a tool for corruption, carried out Joey's orders with chilling efficiency. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that Marcel's loyalty to Joey is a double-edged sword, one that cuts deeply into the lives of everyone around him. The staged tragedy. Marcel, a man whose moral compass was shattered long ago, was the instrument of Doug's demise. Paid handsomely by Joey, Marcel orchestrated a car accident that was anything but accidental. The scene was a masterpiece of deception, a mangled vehicle, a rain-soaked road, and a narrative of tragedy that fooled even the most skeptical investigators. But this was not Marcel's first foray into murder. Months earlier, he had eliminated Kenny, another of Joey's associates, in a staged robbery that left no trace of foul play. Kenny's death was a warning to those who dared cross Joey, a message written in blood. Kenny, like Doug, had been a loyal soldier in Joey's empire. But loyalty, in this world, is a fleeting commodity. When Kenny discovered Joey's affair with his wife, a betrayal that cut deeper than any knife, he vowed to expose the kingpin's duplicity. It was a fatal mistake. Joey, ever the strategist, saw Kenny's rebellion as a threat to his carefully constructed empire. He turned to Marcel, his trusted enforcer, to silence Kenny permanently. The staged robbery was executed with precision, leaving no evidence to tie it to Joey or Marcel. But the seeds of doubt were sown, and Doug, ever perceptive, began to suspect the truth. Doug's fatal discovery. Doug was no fool. His years navigating the city's criminal underworld had honed his instincts, and he sensed the rot beneath Joey's polished exterior. When he uncovered evidence of Joey's affair and his involvement in Kenny's death, Doug's world began to crumble. The man he had trusted, the man he had built an empire alongside, was a viper in disguise. Doug's decision to confront Joey was born of righteous anger, but it was also his undoing. Joey, sensing the walls closing in, issued a chilling directive to Marcel: eliminate Doug before he could expose the truth. Marcel, ever the obedient soldier, complied. The car accident was a work of art in its cruelty. Doug's vehicle, sabotaged to ensure a catastrophic failure, careened off a desolate highway in the dead of night. The official report cited mechanical failure and poor weather conditions, but those who knew Doug suspected something more sinister. Marcel, however, was not unscathed by his actions. Beneath his cold exterior, a flicker of remorse began to grow. Doug had been a friend, a man who trusted him, and the weight of that betrayal gnawed at Marcel's conscience. Joey's cover-up. Joey, a master of manipulation, left nothing to chance. After Doug's death, he turned his attention to erasing any evidence of Marcel's involvement. Security footage from the night of the accident, which could have implicated Marcel, was meticulously edited. Cameras that might have captured the truth were conveniently disabled, their feeds replaced with innocuous loops of empty streets. Joey's influence extended deep into the city's infrastructure, ensuring that no trace of the conspiracy remained. To the world, Doug's death was a tragedy, nothing more. But to Marcel, it was a wound that refused to heal. Marcel's devastation was palpable. The man who had once been a cold-blooded enforcer was now haunted by the faces of those he had betrayed. Doug's death, in particular, struck a nerve. Marcel had liked Doug, respected him even. The act of killing him, of staging the accident that snuffed out his life, was a line Marcel had never wanted to cross. But Joey's grip on him was ironclad, a combination of money, fear, and blackmail that left Marcel with no choice but to obey. Yet, as the days turned into weeks, Marcel's guilt began to fester, threatening to unravel the carefully constructed facade he had built. Vanessa's quest for truth. Enter Vanessa, Doug's widow, a woman whose grief was matched only by her determination. Vanessa was no stranger to the city's shadows, having stood by Doug's side through years of dangerous dealings. But nothing could have prepared her for the void left by his death. To the world, Vanessa was a grieving widow, her sorrow a quiet, private thing. But beneath the surface, a fire burned. Vanessa knew Doug's death was no accident. The man she loved was too careful, too sharp to fall victim to a random tragedy. Her suspicions grew with each passing day, fueled by whispers from Doug's former allies and inconsistencies in the official report. Vanessa's journey to uncover the truth was a descent into a world of lies and betrayal. She began by retracing Doug's final days, piecing together fragments of his life that the police had overlooked. Late-night conversations with informants, clandestine meetings in abandoned warehouses, and a growing pile of evidence pointed to one man, Joey. But Vanessa's instincts told her that Joey was not the only player in this deadly game. Marcel, the detective who had been a fixture in Doug's life, began to loom large in her suspicions. His evasive answers, his haunted eyes, and his sudden wealth raised red flags that Vanessa could not ignore. The unraveling. The turning point came when Vanessa uncovered a piece of evidence that Joey had failed to erase, a single, grainy frame from a security camera near the site of Doug's accident. The footage, recovered from a backup server Joey had overlooked, showed Marcel's car trailing Doug's vehicle moments before the crash. It was the thread that began to unravel the entire conspiracy. Vanessa, armed with this damning evidence, confronted Marcel in a tense, emotionally charged encounter that left both of them shaken. Marcel, cornered and consumed by guilt, broke under the weight of Vanessa's accusations. In a moment of raw honesty, he confessed to his role in Doug's death, revealing the full extent of Joey's treachery. The revelation was a dagger to Vanessa's heart. The man she had mourned, the man she had loved, had been betrayed by those he trusted most. Marcel's confession was a torrent of remorse, a desperate attempt to unburden his soul. But for Vanessa, it was only the beginning of her quest for justice. The aftermath. Vanessa's discovery set off a chain reaction that threatened to topple Joey's empire. Armed with Marcel's confession and the recovered footage, she began to build a case against Joey, working with a small circle of trusted allies. But Joey was no ordinary adversary. His reach extended into every corner of the city, from the police department to the media. Vanessa's pursuit of justice was fraught with danger, as Joey's enforcers closed in, determined to silence her before she could expose the truth. Marcel, meanwhile, found himself at a crossroads. His confession to Vanessa had severed his ties to Joey, leaving him a marked man. Haunted by his actions, Marcel vowed to make amends, offering to help Vanessa bring Joey down. It was a dangerous alliance, born of mutual grief and a shared desire for redemption. Together, they navigated a treacherous landscape, dodging assassins and unraveling Joey's network of corruption. The climax. The climax of Beyond the Gates is a masterclass in tension and drama. Vanessa and Marcel's plan to expose Joey culminates in a high-stakes confrontation at a derelict warehouse on the city's outskirts. The setting is a fitting backdrop for the final showdown, a crumbling relic of the city's industrial past, its walls echoing with the ghosts of countless betrayals. As Joey's forces close in, Vanessa and Marcel fight for their lives, their alliance tested by the weight of their shared sins. In a moment of breathtaking intensity, Vanessa confronts Joey, her voice trembling with rage as she lays bare his crimes. The recovered footage, now in the hands of a trusted journalist, is broadcast across the city, exposing Joey's empire to the world. The Kingpin's carefully constructed facade crumbles, and he is left powerless, his empire reduced to ashes. But the victory comes at a cost. Marcel, wounded in the confrontation, makes a final stand to protect Vanessa, sacrificing himself to ensure her safety. A bittersweet resolution. As the dust settles, Vanessa emerges as a survivor, forever changed by the truth she uncovered. Doug's death, once a mystery shrouded in lies, is now a painful truth that she carries with her. Joey's downfall is a triumph, but it cannot erase the loss of the man she loved. Marcel's sacrifice, though noble, is a reminder of the cost of betrayal in a world where trust is a luxury few can afford. The city, too, is transformed. The exposure of Joey's corruption sends shockwaves through its institutions, prompting a reckoning that will take years to unfold. Vanessa, now a symbol of resilience, steps into the light, determined to honor Doug's memory by fighting for a better future. Her journey, though marked by tragedy, is a testament to the power of truth in the face of overwhelming darkness. Reflections on Beyond the Gates. Beyond the Gates is more than a crime drama, it is a meditation on loyalty, betrayal, and the human cost of ambition. The story of Doug's death, Marcel's guilt, and Vanessa's quest for justice resonates with audiences because it speaks to universal truths. In a world where secrets are currency, the truth is a weapon, one that can both destroy and redeem. As fans, we are left to ponder the what-ifs. What if Doug had never trusted Joey? What if Marcel had found the strength to defy his orders? What if Vanessa had never uncovered the truth? These questions linger, reminding us that in the world of Beyond the Gates, nothing is certain, and every choice carries a price. The saga of Vanessa, Doug, Marcel, and Joey is a tapestry of human frailty, woven with threads of courage, betrayal, and redemption. It challenges us to confront our own loyalties, to question the motives of those we trust, and to seek the truth, no matter the cost. As the credits roll on this chapter of Beyond the Gates, one thing is clear: the truth, once unveiled, can never be buried again.